One of the main reasons why I deal with OUPES is not only because I believe they build a great solar generator for the price. I call OUPES solar generators the working man's solar generator. Why? Because they're affordable, robust, and they do what they tell you that they are going to do. It's not a scam. It's a good product, and there are good people behind it. And after I received this email, I was like, man, what an opportune time. On a video that I'm going to go ahead and review, the OUPES Mega 1, which is the latest OUPES Mega product. I get this email first thing in the morning. Let me go ahead and read it for you. Thank you so much for telling me about OUPES. I am elderly and also have a handicapped daughter and could not think of being able to get a solar generator ever. My daughter is on oxygen, and when the power goes out, I am sunk. I just got mine free today, and I will be doing a video on it and giving you a shout out. Not necessary, but if you want to go ahead and follow Red Road on YouTube, go ahead. I certainly will. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in need of a solar generator because of a medical condition, just like Red Road's daughter is, but you can't afford it, go to OUPES Help. And that link is always on the description of my videos. All you have to do is fill out a short application form and go ahead and submit it. And if they decide to go ahead and hook you up with a free solar generator, then that is great. All I can tell you is this, that many of the AP community members that have applied to get a free solar generator because of a medical condition, they have received it. And let me tell you something else. But before I tell you, please don't flood my emails, ladies and gentlemen. I've even had a few people contact me because they were afraid of filling out the application. And I went ahead and talked to my contact at OUPES personally, and they ended up getting a free solar generator because they just needed one but couldn't afford them. OUPES takes 5% of their bottom line and they contribute it back to the community that makes them successful. So thank you very much, OUPES, not only for sending me the Mega 1 to review today and all the other solar generators that you've sent me, but for taking care of the community that takes care of you. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about OUPES's brand new Mega 1. It still hasn't come out, but I believe it's coming out here in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for it, because this little machine does a lot more than your average 1,000 watt hour solar generator. But first, take a look at this. It is a beautiful fall day here in Alaska, and I'm doing it undercover because it's been a little bit rainy, but I thought I'd show you some of the colors. And take a look at our chickens. They're all doing great, and I actually have a little bit of bad news. Nuggie, which is one of our chicks that was born organically from our flock, meaning that she was hatched from one of the eggs that was fertilized, we thought was a hen, and it ends up, and it's looking like Nuggie is a rooster. So I'm sorry, Nuggie, but you are eventually going to have to end up in the pot. I'm waiting to see it crow for the first time, and once that happens, he's going to have to go in the pot. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but you all let me know. What does it look like to you? Let's get back to talking about the all-new Mega 1. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do this video a little bit different. Now, some people may disregard a solar generator that's only 1,000 watt hours, but I have to say that OUPES really hit it out of the park with this one. And why is that? Because this solar generator has the ability to do some things that others in the same category of the 1,000 or so storable watt hours can do. We're going to go over all of that on the computer here when I'm done with the presentation on what it looks like and the functionality of it, because I think you'll get a lot more out of it if we give you some precise numbers and exactly what it is that this can do that I haven't seen other solar generators be able to do in this category, and it comes in at a great price. When you open the box, you're going to find that it comes with an owner's manual, and it also has a warranty card that you need to make sure you register, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that if anything goes wrong, you can easily return it and receive a replacement. I like that they include the car charging wire because it comes in handy. For example, let's say that you take it in your RV or in your vehicle if you're going on a trip, and you bring with you one of those electric refrigerators that's 12 volt. You plug it into this, And you're going to be able to keep this fully charged the entire trip, because those little fridges only take about 40-50 watts or so. So there's no sense in draining the battery when you have a car charger. And of course, just like all of the mega products that Opus has to offer, it comes with an AC charging cord. No more blocks, ladies and gentlemen. We are now completely in the 21st century. The Mega 1 will charge as fast as 1400 watts AC, which is great for this because it means that you can fully charge it off of your wall plug in less than 1 hour. And of course, it's a solar generator. Why? Because it can be recharged using solar panels. We're not going to be doing that today, obviously, because there is no sun. We have an overcast that's going to last all day long, but it does come with an MC4 connector and also an Anderson connector, which will connect to the solar generator itself, and it will charge using solar as fast as 800 watts. And I do believe, don't quote me on this, we'll look this up here in a minute when we get to our computer, that it will charge up to 75 volts, which is really great in a 1000 watt hour solar generator. I really like when the solar generator has all of the working components in the front, meaning that all of the things that you're going to need in order to get energy from is in the front. You don't have to look in the side or anything like that. Everything's in the front. I really like that, and Opus did that with the Mega 1, just like they've done with all of the other solar generators in the Mega series. As I've stated, ladies and gentlemen, this is the front, the working portion of this solar generator. The other two sides pretty much work with the input, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But this is just like any other Opus solar generator. All you're going to do is do a long press to turn it on. The AC outlets will provide you with up to 2000 watts of continuous output, and obviously to turn it on, simple as that. As soon as you start using something off of this, it's going to tell you about how many hours you have left, depending on how much power is being sucked out of this machine at once. To turn it off, another quick press. Same thing with our DC. You have 4 quick charging USB-A's and 2 100 watt USB-C's. And on the other side, you have your garden variety cigarette lighter output, 12 volt, and your 2 5521 ports. On this side, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our input side, but the same thing with the other side. I have something very exciting to tell you about this solar generator that is going to make it even better for those of you that want to add on but not get a huge system at once. And look, I've decided to leave this little card on. This pretty much says to make sure that you refresh your batteries in your solar generators, even if you haven't used them every few months or so. I would say that every 3 months or so, if you have your solar generator in a closet somewhere not being used, I recommend that you use it all the time. But if you do have it in a closet somewhere not being used, take it out every 3 months or so, and even if it says 100%, plug it in. Now this is our input. Down here we'll start with this. I like to call these little circuit breakers, because what they do is they protect the insides from being overcharged, or if there's a large surge that comes because of a lightning bolt or something like that, this is going to protect the system from getting fried inside. But here, as you can see, is where that 20 amp cord plugs in, that you plug into your AC to charge this thing, again, up to 1400 watts. Here is our Anderson connection, which is really dummy proof on how to connect it, but this is the port that you're going to use in order to charge this unit using solar panels. One of the things that I really like about Opus is that they keep everything very simple. Nothing here is really complicated. Now let me show you what's going on the other side. Now this side of the solar generator, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited about, because this is a 1000 watt hour solar generator, and it comes with an expansion port where you can connect up to 2 B2 expansion batteries for a total of 5000 plus watt hours. And that's not it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, but it's in their manual, so I'm going to talk about it. Opus is coming out with what they're calling a smart generator, and this is going to be a function which allows a gasoline generator to hook up to this unit and automatically start and recharge the unit once it goes down to about 20% capacity. So that is going to be a game changer for these smaller units, because you can go ahead and add the generator to it and just get a small unit and know that you're not going to run out of power, because that generator is going to turn on once it recognizes that the power is at below 20%. Before we go over the specifications, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what I've used the Mega 1 for so far, just to test how good it actually is. And I'm actually very happy with it. I was able to power 2 of my freezers for a little over 12 hours, all the way from 100% to 1%. That's what's nice also about having a LifePo battery, obviously 3500 recharge cycles, is that with these lithium batteries, you're able to drain it to 0 if you want, and it's not going to hurt the battery at all. I was also using this in order to heat up my coffee water for the morning, just to see how it would act with a quick surge in power. And as you can see in this clip that I took here, this water heater goes all the way up to, I think, about 1350 watts or so in a quick hurry. So that real quick surge of power coming out of this unit did not hurt it at all. And of course, remember that the surge on this is rated to 4500 watts, and it has a 2000 watt continuous output. So now that I've introduced to you the Mega 1 and some of the things that I use it for, remember, ladies and gentlemen, that most people, when they have a power outage, it's not for days and days and days. It's not for weeks and stuff like that. It's for a few hours. And having something this size, I believe, will take care of the things that most people find important when power goes out. And that's what, first and foremost, your refrigerator. You want to make sure that the food in there is going to stay cool and not spoil. Depends where you are in the country or in the world. For me, the very first thing that I would need power for, especially during the winter, is to make sure that my heater continues to run. I can always take the food and put it outside in the winter, right? But I want to make sure that my house stays warm. So it's different for everyone. But this little solar generator, especially with the ability to be able to put expansion batteries on it, is very versatile. And now let's take it to the bunker so that we can go over the specifications and that we can talk a little bit about the lingo of solar generators, so that those of you that are not very experienced with it can understand what these things mean. That way you can make a better choice when purchasing one for yourselves. Now, I wanted to do this portion of the video for those of you that maybe don't understand when someone says watt hour or continuous watts and such. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at each of the specifications that they have noted here. And I'm going to take a quick minute to explain what it means. That way you know what it means in relation to powering your devices or your appliances that you would need during a power outage. So right here you can see it says 2000 watts rated output. It simply means that you can draw up to 2000 watts of power from the unit at any given time, continuous. So if you plug in, let's say, 4 appliances, of which are each 500 watts, you can go ahead and run those appliances at the same time, continuous, until the unit runs out of battery power. Now here it says that it has 1024 watt hour capacity. What does that mean? Simply, ladies and gentlemen, putting it in layman terms is, if you have a 1 watt light bulb, you're going to be able to run it off of this unit for 1024 hours, minus the watt hours that it needs in order to operate its internal devices like the inverter and such. Watt hours is just a term that's used to indicate how much power you have stored in that device. Now right here, this solar generator is expandable all the way up to 5120 watt hours. How is that? You can hook up to 2 external B2 batteries to it, of which each is 2048 watt hours. So when you add 2 and 2 together, that's 4000 plus the 1000 for the unit. It gives you a 5000 watt hour system. What does it mean when they say solar input? This has a max of 800 watt solar input. Means that you can hook up as many solar panels as you can, up to 75 volts, I believe, that will equal to 800 watts, and the solar generator will take all of that wattage in. So if you have a really sunny day and you have enough solar panels, you can put up to 800 watts into that solar generator at any one time, which means that with solar, you should be able to charge the Mega 1, I would say, in about an hour and a half, 2 hours max, depending on how efficient your solar panels are. I'm not going to talk about the app, ladies and gentlemen, because I just don't do apps. I like buttons, all right? They're a lot simpler. However, as previously stated, the OUPES does come with a LiFePO 4 battery that is rated for 3,500 charge and discharge cycles. What does that mean? That means that if you discharge your unit completely and charge it completely every single day, you can do that for 3,500 days straight, which is almost 10 years. If you're getting up there in age and you really can't handle a 5,000 watt hour system because you just can't carry it, well, this unit comes in at about 27, 28 pounds. And remember, you can add 2 external batteries, making it into a modular unit that you can take apart and bring piece by piece, reducing the weight that you have to carry at one time. I'm going to have to call out OUPES on this because I do not believe that this machine is UPS, uninterrupted power supply. It's more like EPS, which it states in the user manual. So I think that this is just a mistake that they have here on their website. Let me read to you the difference between UPS and EPS. That way you have a good understanding. Let me read to you the difference between EPS and UPS. EPS system, emergency power supply, have a slower response. They can take up to 250 milliseconds in order to switch over to battery power once the grid power goes out, as compared to UPS systems are designed to respond in less than 12 milliseconds. And on this system, I believe the millisecond changeover is 20 milliseconds, which is above the rated 12 milliseconds needed for UPS. So this system is an EPS, or emergency power supply system. What can you do with that? Well, it means that you can have your refrigerator plugged into it and then the system plugged into the grid. If something were to happen and you lost grid power, your refrigerator will continue to function like nothing happened. It wouldn't even know the difference between getting grid power and power from your solar generator. However, it's not recommended that you use EPS systems, for example, for having a backup for like a computer or something that you may be working on that you need to have data storage in the case of the power going out. So take that for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This system has an EPS system as stated on the owner's manual and not a UPS as stated here on the website. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to take a quick screenshot of this, this is everything that you get pretty much for the Mega 1 and at an awesome price. And remember, don't quote me on this, all right? I'm going on a limb by telling you this because this is such a good price. But I do believe that my 5% off code will also work to get you another 5% off of the final price of $459. And now I just feel like I am beating a dead horse to death if I continue talking about how awesome this little machine is. Go ahead and check it out. Use my link if you'd like to support what I do, but remember to use my discount code for that additional 5% off. I want to thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in today. I want to thank OUPES as well, not only for providing us a piece of equipment that can help us during grid power outages, but also for helping our community. I want to say God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.